All right, so let's start with the class. Today we are going to read chapter 4. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So Unit 1, Chapter 4, Big Data, Big Insights. Data माने information, right? जैसे सर्वेज होते हैं, है ना? हम पढ़ेंगे कि डेटा क्या होता है, व्हाट इज डेटा यूजफुल फॉर, एंड हाउ इज डेटा used by companies. Okay, this is what we are going to learn today. आप देखते हैं ना, sometimes if you want to buy a bag, और आपने 2-3 वेबसाइट्स पे या कहीं पे आपने बैग के लिए सर्च किया, so then you'll find you keep getting lots of ads for different bags, right? So that is based on your search. So there are different ways that companies collect data, and data is information, data is power, and data is useful for a lot of things. All right, let's look at these icebreaker questions first. You have give business suggestions to the respective industry or company for the following situation. So what data does is that it helps people know what to do next, right? For example, many passengers prefer morning flights between 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mumbai to Delhi. Okay? If you have data that people prefer to travel between 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., तो फिर उस data से what is going to be your inference? What are you going to use that data for? You will suggest that the flights between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. should increase because more people want to fly during early mornings, right? Next situation is many students are opting for UPSC or MPSC exams. तो आपका क्या suggestion होगा? You're going to say we should have more study centers and coaching classes to teach these children, right? So if many children are opting for UPSC, they should have. So your suggestion can be that you can start new coaching centers, more coaching centers, and provide study material, books, and classes for these children who want to go for UPSC, right? Many people go for morning walk to Kamala Nehru Park. So if many people go to walk to Kamala Nehru Park, what suggestion will you give? Gurdev? What suggestion will you give? Pradyuman? Pranjal? Pratmesh? Rutika? Sama? Shobha? Kaun batayega? If many children go for morning walk to Kamala Nehru Park, what is going to be your suggestion? Thank you. What suggestion are you going to give? Right? You can give suggestions that there should be a better walking track, there should be more benches, there should be drinking water facilities, there can be more security, there can be arrangement for first aid, right? Because if so many people are there, people will need that kind of facility, right? Many people buy clothes from miracle.com, an online shopping site. So if many people buy clothes from here, what is your suggestion going to be to this website? You can give them a suggestion that you can add more clothes to your shopping line. You can start offers and discounts, and you can make your delivery quicker, and you can, like, when you do that, you'll be able to sell more stuff, right? Okay. The viewership on television is more between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So if you see that more people watch TV between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., what suggestion can you give? That the popular programs that most people like and advertisements of important things they can be shown between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Right? Okay. Now, people get information from various sources. Can you name a few? So you get your information from Google, from Facebook, from Instagram, from LinkedIn, right? From TV, from radios, from YouTube, from books, and even from friends and family. Somebody buys something and you say, I bought this. This is very good. You should also buy, right? So our source of information is also our friends and family, right? And then we have mobile apps like Amazon, Nika, Flipkart, Zepto. All these apps also give us information about different products. So these are various sources of information. Let's move on to data. Big data, big insights. So this is a little technical. Children who are computer students will be able to understand this a little better. Okay.
बिग डेटा महत्वपूर्ण अंतर्दृष्टी.
ठीक है. So big data gives you a lot of insight. Okay, what is big data? There is a revolution in the lifestyle of people which has been affected by big data. Our food habits, our healthcare, our traveling, our scientific pursuits, you name it, and everything has changed 360 degrees. The massive data available with us can really work wonders. Friends, do you know what happens when we like a post on Facebook or share a post on WhatsApp? Visit any website, make online purchases, or watch videos? Yes. Whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, and analyzed. So a huge amount of data is collected. So when you like a certain kind of videos or a certain kind of product, the websites are collecting data, and on the basis of that, they are planning their future course of action. Okay, let's listen to the translation of this first to help us understand. Okay, here we go. Whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, and analyzed. So a huge amount of data is collected. This is called big data.
आपण ऑनलाईन करत असलेल्या प्रत्येक कृतीची नोंद ठेवली जाते, त्यावर लक्ष ठेवले जाते आणि तिचे विश्लेषण केले जाते. त्यामुळे प्रचंड प्रमाणात डेटा गोळा होतो.
ठीक आहे? Okay. Let me give you an idea about how huge this data might be. Big data can be petabytes or exabytes of data consisting of billions to trillions of records of millions of people, all from different sources. For example, web, sales, customer contact centers, social media, mobile data, and so on. So data is collected in different ways. The data is available to industries and companies. The data available to industries and companies is enormously increasing in volume, variation, velocity, veracity, and value. Such a big data is easy to obtain, but so massive that it challenges the current computing technologies, and hence the big data analytics is used to give insights that were previously incomprehensible. Big data analytics is the complex process of examining large and varied data sets and big data to uncover information. So what does the big data tell you? It tells about hidden patterns. It tells about unknown correlation. It tells about market trends and customer preferences. Right? Let's listen to this translation first. This is important to understand this. Okay, here we go. Big data is used to uncover information such as hidden patterns, unknown correlations, market trends, and customer preferences.
बिग डेटाचा उपयोग लपलेली नमुने, अज्ञात सहसंबंध, बाजारातील कल आणि ग्राहकांच्या पसंती यांसारखी माहिती उघड करण्यासाठी केला जातो.
Okay. With such a huge data available with the industries, they can have innumerable advantages. Hence, all the industries are trying to reap the maximum benefit from it. Many industries have advanced by miles from their competitors. It's not the amount of data that is important, but what the organizations do with the data that matters. So once the companies have the data, what do they do with the data? Uses of big data. आप देखते हैं ना, when you use GPS or Google Maps on your phone, वो दिखाता है कि यहाँ पे red है, there is a traffic jam. This is yellow. There is a lot of traffic, but there's no jam here. And then there is the blue line which shows that there is no obstacle of any sort. And there's smooth traffic. So how do people know that? Through your location tracking. So depending on how many people are there on the road, it's going to show you red, yellow, or blue. In fact, one person did a very interesting experiment. He put hundreds of mobile phones in a cart and he started pulling it on the road, and the Google Maps started showing that entire road as red. So that is how data is collected through GPS and mobile Google Maps, through your location and the usage of your phone. That is why they're able to give you real-time data on traffic, congestion on a route, information if some route is closed, or there's an accident on some route, or there's some route which is one way. All this information is given in real time. That means real time means while it is happening. This is not something you can upload in advance, right? If I have to go 1 hour later, I can't, it won't help if I see the traffic right now. I have to see the traffic 1 hour later only, right? You can plan your own route according to the travel time and the transportation of goods. If you have ordered something online, you can track the location of your goods in transit, and you can also track the condition of the goods. This has immensely helped the logistics companies to reduce risks in transport, improve speed and reliability in delivery. So now you can track your goods. It says your goods are in transit or your package is in transit, and then it says it is going to be delivered today. And when it's delivered, it says it has been delivered. So this is how you can track people, location, and items, right? Second thing is understanding weather patterns. There are weather sensors and satellites set up all around the globe. Huge amounts of data is continuously being received from them. They help us to understand the weather and help in weather forecasting. Weather patterns give us warnings of impending natural calamities like floods, earthquakes, and tsunami. Necessary preparations to combat them can be made well in advance. We can study global warming, predict availability of natural resources like water. Okay. So it just happened in North India. What happened was there was a expected storm. So the government sent a warning on everyone's mobile phone that a storm is expected, and so people can take precautions, right? Healthcare industry. How does the healthcare industry use this data? Today, we see that people have become health conscious. The smartwatches, the other wearable health apps in your phone keep on collecting data. So, you know, your phone counts your steps, can record your heartbeat, your blood pressure, right? So, what kind of lifestyle are people leading? How active are they? How passive are they? There are apps that record your morning walk. So, these apps and gadgets are tracking your sleep, your heart rate, and they keep a record of the exercise, the distance you have walked. The analysis of this data collected can give new insights and provide a personalized individual feedback to each and every person. Nowadays, we have gadgets to monitor blood sugar, blood pressure at home. 24/7 monitoring can be provided to patients in hospitals also. With the help of big data, the doctors now have better diagnosis of any ailment, the effect of any drug, etc. So now your walk, your activity, your heart rate, your sleep pattern, your exercise, sugar, blood pressure, all this can be recorded. And if you're on some medication, the patient's response to the medication can also be recorded. Unnecessary guesswork has significantly reduced. तो क्या मतलब हुआ कि अंदाजे से दवाई देने की जरूरत नहीं है. You have proper data on the basis of which the doctors or the concerned companies can act. It's no longer guesswork. Past records of patients can be maintained and better analysis of the health can be obtained. Big data helps in monitoring the outbreaks of epidemics and diseases. Just when you post your message, I'm down with flu on WhatsApp or Facebook, it will be monitored and the areas affected by flu can be easily located and necessary precautions can be taken. आपको ध्यान हो जब कोविड हुआ था, you had to mark that you're down with COVID and people around you were alerted that there is a COVID patient in this area and accordingly you could protect yourself. Pharmaceutical companies would pay huge amount to receive health data of people to promote research in the particular area. With the help of data gathered, individuals are often given suggestions and solutions for the problems they are encountering, right? So now health industry can also use this data to avoid guesswork and to be more effective. Okay. How do banking, finance, and trading use data? Let's see. So when banking, finance, and trading note the investment patterns of people, and on that basis they come up with plans, right? And schemes, investment schemes. Then this banking and finance sector also uses data to prevent cyber crimes, card fraud detection, audit trails. Now, there's something called brute force attacks. Brute force attacks is when a cyber attack tries to guess your password, right? So when a company does that, that data is used by banks to protect our data. Big data not only helps in predicting cyber crimes, but it also helps in handling issues related to missed transactions and failures in net banking. It can even predict possible spikes on servers so banks can manage transactions accordingly. So sometimes people do wrong transactions. So those transactions can also be managed. The Securities Exchange Commission is using big data to monitor financial markets for possible illegal trades and suspicious activities. So data is also used to make sure that people are not doing illegal trading. So that is also monitored using big data. So wherever amounts larger than a certain amount are being invested to and fro, the security agencies are alerted. The SEC is using network analytics and natural language processes to identify possible frauds in financial markets. So the same data is used to predict possible financial frauds. Okay. High frequency trading is an area where big data finds a lot of use today. So here algorithms are used to make trading decisions, and that is also where the information from data is used for this. Sports. When watching a cricket match, we are shown many permutations and combinations of statistical analysis. A gigantic data has been created over a period of time from the recording of matches, training sessions, and workouts. This data enables a sports person to study his performance as well as of other players worldwide. It has tremendously helped in improving individual as well as team performance. The sensors embedded in the sports equipment help us to understand our game from close quarters. The sensors help us to understand field conditions, the weather, the individual performance, etc. Video analytics help us to see each and every performance minutely. Now that performances are recorded, you can zoom in, you can notice how's the player handling the bat, how was he standing, why did he miss, what was the angle of the wrist, and all the minute details can be checked out. Advertising, a big one. Advertising uses big data, big time. So if you're talking to someone and saying, I want to buy a bag, or you type Google school bag, suddenly you'll see all the ads that you're seeing are of bags only. You go to Facebook, you'll start getting ads of bags. You go to Google, you start getting ads of bags. You go to Instagram, you'll start seeing bag ads. This is because of the data. The fact that you were looking for a bag, now you'll be bombarded with possible bags for you to buy. Okay. So this is how advertising uses data. So it gets its data from Facebook, Google, Twitter, and so many other websites and also apps. These internet giants provide a great deal of data about people to the advertisers so that they can run targeted campaigns. Take Facebook, for example. Here you can target people based on bullying intent, buying intent, website visits, interests, job roles, demographics, and whatnot. All this data is collected by Facebook algorithms using big data analysis techniques. The same goes for Google. When you target people based on clicks, you will get different results. And when you create a campaign for leads, then you will get different results. All this is made possible using big data, right? Now, entertainment and media. How does entertainment and media use data? It focuses on targeting people with the right content at the right time. Based on your past views and your behavior online, you'll be shown different recommendations. This technique is popularly used by Netflix and YouTube to increase engagement and drive more revenues. So if you're a cricket fan and you're watching cricket videos, you'll be shown more cricket videos. If you like watching stories or serials or listening to podcasts, then you'll get more podcast recommendations. If you like stand-up comedy, you'll get more recommendations for stand-up comedy. So this is how data works for entertainment and the media industry. Education industry. How does the education industry use data? So the education industry tries and understand the students, their study patterns, what is it that they want to study, how do they want to study, and on the basis of that, it can come up with different course materials for different students. So in the same class, there can be 10 students, and according to their individual level, they can get practice sheets. This is where AI also comes in very handy, right? Because every child has a different understanding level, and now the study material can be designed as per the student. Just because they're in the same class doesn't mean they have to study the same thing, right? With the help of big data, you can understand what are their choices, what are the difficulties they are facing, and how to help them learn better, right? So this is how the education field uses data. Okay, we have innumerable uses of big data. So we've seen how the different industries have been using big data to their advantage, right? So it says it's a genie in our hands. So that means it is very powerful, very potent, and very useful. And it is up to us to make the maximum use, the optimum use for our benefit. Right? Okay. Let's come to the questions. The questions at the end of the. What I've done for you, Bache, at the end of the class, I'll be sharing with you this resource. We've just studied this chapter. This will give you a summary of the chapter. Okay, the important things in the chapter, followed by all the new words. The new words in this chapter, their meaning in Hindi, Marathi, and an example sentence. Okay. This sample sentence will help you understand this word better. Okay, this word is also in your chapter. So this is a list of new words in this chapter. And then this is your brainstorming question answers. So if you see, here are your brainstorming questions. And the resource that I'm going to share with you, that is also going to have the answers to these questions. All right? All right. YouTube has many videos on various things. If you go to YouTube, you can find video on anything. How to make chapati, how to make paneer, how to draw a camel, how to knit a flower, anything under the sun. Okay, young boys can check, how do I shave my face? Okay, how to take care of your skin. Anything and everything you can find on YouTube. So it has many videos on various topics. Listen to both. Listen to uses and health benefits of lemon and share it with your friends. So for this, what are you going to do? You are going to go to Google, go to YouTube, and here you type benefits of lemon. Okay. And here you will find lots of videos which will say mind-blowing benefits of a lemon, lemon water benefits. Okay. 7 magical health benefits of lemon water, नींबू पानी के फायदे और नुकसान. So you can go through these, and so that means YouTube or any internet source for that matter is a powerhouse of information. Okay, so this is your first question. You can go to YouTube and find out the benefits, uses and health benefits of lemon and share it with your friends. These days it's so hot. Lemon comes in very handy, right? During the hot season, during the summer season, people keep themselves hydrated with shikanji, lemon water, right? Okay. Make point-wise notes from the lesson regarding the uses of big data on the following application. Do not write complete sentences. So this is just points and not complete sentences. How does location tracking use big data? Right? How does location tracking use big data? It uses for GPS and Google Maps, real-time traffic information, route planning and navigation, tracking online, deliveries and goods. The healthcare industry, it does it for monitoring heart rate and sleep patterns, better diagnosis and treatment, tracking epidemics and diseases, and personalized health suggestions. Education industry uses it for analysis of student learning patterns, customized learning programs for the students, identification of strengths and weaknesses of the students, and better career guidance, right? What career path should the children choose? So the big data helps in that as well, right? So these are the various industries that use big data. This is very important. When you're asked for personal details on social media, what precautions will you take? You should never share your personal details on social media, ever. Okay? So what are the precautions that we can take if we are on social media? Never share your passwords. Use strong passwords. Simple passwords can be guessed. Okay? Enable two-factor authentication. So not just the password, there should be some two-factor authentication where you get an OTP or you have to click and say, yes, you are the one trying to log in. So there is two-factor authentication in most websites and apps. Check your privacy settings regularly and make sure you are covered and you don't have any information that is public. Avoid sharing bank details. Do not accept requests from unknown people. Accept requests only from known people. Sometimes children have this thing of, oh, I have so many friends, I have 500 friends, I have 5,000 friends. Do not collect friends like trophies. Having more followers and friends on social media is not a good idea. Stick to the people you know. Do not click on suspicious links. Do not click on suspicious links. They can have viruses. They can hack your phone. Keep personal information limited. Keep your personal information very limited. Negative uses of big data. So big data has its benefits, but it also has its. So these are. So everything about big data is not positive. It has some positives and some negatives, right? Because the same data that can be used for good things can also be used to harm you. So the negative impact of big data is invasion of privacy. Your private information can be shared with other people, someone else. So many times it happens, identity theft. People will take your photograph and make an account and then send requests to your people you are known to, and they will think it's you. But you have not made that account. You don't know who has made that account and who's sending friendship requests to your friends. That is identity theft. Somebody is pretending to be you and is trying to connect with your friends and family. Cybercrime and hacking. And somebody tries to access your website, your phone, your WhatsApp, and has access to that information. Online fraud and scams. Online, lots of frauds and scams happen. Your personal information can be misused to harm you, hurt you. Surveillance without consent. Somebody might be surveilling you without consent. Where are you going? What are you saying? Your phone can be used to hear your conversations. So if your phone is hacked, misinformation about you can be spread. Manipulative advertising. So based on your choices, people might try to sell you stuff based on your liking, whether you want it or not. Data breaches. Sometimes this data is sold for money to antisocial elements, and then it can be used against you. Financial fraud. So if your details have been shared, your Aadhaar card, your phone number, your name, so it can be used to cheat you for financially harm you, right? Okay. Now guess the meaning of the following idioms and phrases and use them in sentences of your own. One size fits all. That means suitable or used in all circumstances. So one size fits all means something that is useful for everyone, right? That is one size fits all. Okay. The wristwatches have adjustable bells, so one size fits all. Okay. Once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon means rarely. Very rarely. When do you see the blue moon? Almost never, right? So, once in a blue moon means very rarely. For example, we visit our village once in a blue moon, right? Or we go for a picnic, school picnic, once in a blue moon. That means very rarely. One man army. So when one person is working like an army of many people. So when one person is doing the work of many. So that means one person who can do many tasks alone. Rohan managed the entire event like a one-man army. So Rohan took charge of so many things and he was able to manage the entire event. So that is an example of one-man army, a person who does many things alone. Once bitten, twice shy. A bad experience makes one more careful. हम हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, दूध का जला छाछ भी फूंक मार के पीता है. So same thing. Once you've been bitten, you are even more careful. One bad experience makes the person more careful in other situations as well. After being cheated online, she became once bitten, twice shy. One upon. That means to have advantage over someone. One up. That means above someone else. Our team had one up on the opponents because of better preparation. So they said because we were better prepared, we were one up on the opposite team. Okay. Now, do as directed. Advertisers are one of the biggest players in big data. Begin the sentence with very few. So how will you do this? Very few players. Very few players in big data are as big as the advertisers. The second question is, use bigger than and rewrite the sentence. No other player. Advertisers are bigger than most players in big data, or no player is bigger than advertisers in the field of big data. Right? Let's look at the second question. No other diagnosis is as good as the diagnosis done with the help of big data. Use best and rewrite the sentence, and then use better than and rewrite the sentence. So best will be the diagnosis done with the help of big data is the best diagnosis, and the diagnosis done with the help of big data is better than any other diagnosis, right? So we've used best and better than to say the same thing. Okay. The internet giants provide the greatest data about people. Begin the sentence with no other. No other internet giant provides the same amount of data about people, right? No other organization provides as great data about people as these internet giants. And these internet giants provide greater data about people than any other organizations. Right? So what you're learning is how to say your sentence, the same sentence in 3 different ways. Okay. New insights have enabled the banks and finance companies to come up with suitable plans. This sentence can be rewritten as new insights have enabled banks as well as finance companies to come up with suitable plans. So instead of saying and, you say as well as. So as well as serves the same purpose as and, right? So that means you should use one. Either you use and or you use as well as. Do not use both. Okay. So as well as is used instead of and. Either or means either this or that. That means one of them, right? You can have either tea or coffee. You can't have both, right? Or you can have tea or lemon, either tea or lemonade. You can't have lemonade and tea together, right? Whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, and analyzed. So, whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, and analyzed. So, whatever activity we do online is recorded as well as monitored and analyzed. Big data has been useful in identifying and tracking the exact location of a place. Big data has been useful in identifying as well as tracking the exact location of a place. Weather sensors and satellites help us to understand the weather and help in weather forecasting. Weather sensors and satellites help us to understand the weather as well as weather forecasting. Right? Weather sensors as well as satellites help us to understand the weather and weather forecasting. The next sentence is, big data helps in monitoring the outbreaks of epidemics as well as diseases. Right? New insights have enabled the banks and finance companies to come up with suitable plans. New insights have enabled the banks as well as finance companies to come up with suitable plans. So this is how you can rewrite these sentences using as well as or either or. Now these are two listening. Okay, this is a data collection exercise where you interview all the students in your class and you ask them what do they want to choose as a career, right? And then you can put the data together and say out of 50 children, 15 want to be engineers, 12 want to be doctors, 18 want to be do CS, want to work in companies, 12 want to be MBAs. So like that, you will have data about your class, right? And then you can analyze the data to say how many children want to go in which field, what career do they want to choose. Okay. To listen well is as powerful a means of influence as to talk well and is essential to all true conversations. Form a group and have a group discussion on the topic social media, curse and boom. The most important thing that it says is that we think talking is communication. Communication is also listening. So we need to be good listeners along with being good speakers. So it's a good idea to get into groups and or at least take a sheet of paper and write social media. What are the negative impacts? Boon, what are the positives of social media and what are the harmful impact of social media? Women empowerment and equality. What is good about this? What is a strength? And what is it that we might not be doing right about this? Okay, climate change. I'm not sure there's anything good about climate change, but okay. Uh, so what is climate change? Why is it important? And how is it impacting us, right? So, all of that. What is women empowerment? What is equality? Why is it important? And how does it impact all of us as social beings, as society, as families? Climate change, what is the impact? What does climate change mean? How does it impact our lives? So it's a good idea to write about these three topics. These are current topics, important topics that you should know about. Find out job opportunities in the following areas and the skills required for them. So do a little bit of research and see what are the skills you need for data processing. What are the skills you need for network operations? What skills do you need for data entry? Right? So these are different profiles in the data field. You can do a little bit of research, Google, what are the skills required for clinical data management? And you'll get a list of skills. You should know what are the important skills for this. Okay. So we reach the end of the chapter. After the class, the resource will be shared with you. Okay. So this is your chapter and this is going to be the resource that I'm going to share with you. This has all the information that we've discussed today. This is an example of a survey that you can conduct with your own class. How many of your friends want to be doctors? How many of them want to be engineers? Right? So I've included examples of the entire task and even the job opportunities. You can take a look and use it for your revision. Okay? I'll see you in the next class. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, beta. Let me stop recording.